first story was posted 6 years ago by a Reddit user named Sherbeck. I used to work at a pub that was 2 miles from my house. My shift ended at about 11 one night. I stayed there for a couple of drinks, then started walking home. Now this had been an exceptional night for me tip-wise. I had close to $400 in cash on me at the time. Between the pub and my house was exactly one streetlight, about a quarter mile from the pub. The rest of the walk was in complete darkness. This was a dark night too. It was close to the new moon and cloudy to boot, so it was almost pitch black. Now I live in the boonies, so there isn't much light pollution to help out. Not long after I leave the pub, a car slowly drives by me. About a quarter mile down the road, the car slows to a stop and it just sits there. I stop walking and watch the car. It sits for a few minutes, then slowly drives away. A couple of minutes later, the same car comes slowly driving back by me in the opposite lane. It gets by me, drives a bit down the road, and slows to a stop again. Then it does a U-turn and starts creeping back down the road towards me with the lights off. At this point, I'm terrified. I didn't have a cell phone at the time. There's no one around me to see what's going on. The car is between me and the pub, so I can't get back to safety there. My house is still about 1.5 miles away. No way I can quickly escape there. I quickly run off the road into the woods and duck down behind a bush. I watch for the car, but it's too dark to see it with the lights off, and bushes, trees, undergrowth between me and the road. I sit there for about 10 minutes, but don't see or hear anything. I'm about to make my way back to the road when I hear car doors closing. Now I'm really panicking. It feels like my chest is about to explode. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. I keep imagining someone sneaking up behind me. I stay hidden and hope to God whoever it is doesn't find me. I don't know how long I stay there, but I eventually hear car doors again. Then cars passing by. I give it a couple of minutes, then ease back to the road. When I see it's clear, I haul ass back to the pub and let my boss know what happened. He said then and there that I'm never to walk home at night again. Either he, his brother, or his mom will give me a lift home. When the other servers and the kitchen staff hear what happened, they all say the same thing. Never been that terrified before. Second story was posted 3 years ago by Reddit user named Dope Yeti. Used to work late shifts as classroom IT support for a college. We didn't get a lot of high priority calls from night classes, so among other duties, we'd get a lot of repairs and maintenance done that couldn't be done when the classrooms were in use during the day. I don't mind the dark, so I wasn't in the habit of turning lights in classrooms on if I was just going to do something real quick on the computer. Well, I had a ticket to install something on the instructor PC in a classroom I had never been to before. It's about 10 p.m. when I get around to this ticket and I head into the room. I get about halfway across the room and suddenly freeze. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up, and I feel 100% that I'm being watched. No, I'm being surrounded. Then, as my eyes start to adjust, I see them. This entire classroom is encircled by hospital beds sticking out from the walls, and in every bed, there's a person sitting up, looking right at me. "Oh, I'm sorry," I blurted out, before finally realizing they're all just plastic dummies and I was in a nursing classroom. Third story was posted 7 years ago by a Reddit user named Valiant Freak. I work at a cafe downtown, quite a few homeless shelters in range, and a huge drug problem. One day I'm working behind the bar, and this redhead kid, probably in his early 20s, sits down in our seating area and starts chanting things under his breath. After a minute or two, he starts moving his hands around like he's casting a spell. He then gets up, starts yelling and disturbing everyone. I walk over to him and tell him he needs to leave for the day. Dude looks me straight in the eye and says, "This is all a giant game. I'll kill you with one finger." At this point, whatever. I get death threats a lot down here, no biggie. Shoo him on his way and that's that. Fast forward to when we're closing up around 9 p.m. Not technically night shift, but it gets dark up here so it counts. I lock the doors and start heading to the parking garage my car is in. It's probably about 6 blocks away, no big deal. Winter up here is insanely dark, so it's already pretty creepy in downtown. About a block or two of walking and I hear this hissing noise. I freaked out because I can't see anyone around. I picked up the pace a bit. Then I hear hurried footsteps in the snow behind me. I booked it to the staircase for the garage because I wasn't going to wait for the elevator. I'm about a staircase up and I hear the door I just went through slam shut. I finally made it to get in my car as fast as possible. I look around and lo and behold, there's the redhead from earlier. Only this time he's furious. He sees me in the car and books it full speed and starts hitting my window, screaming, "I'm going to kill you." I door checked him and drove away. Called the cops next morning and they found the dude. Apparently, he thinks he's in the Illuminati and completely corroborated my story to the police. Small jail time and one restraining order later, never saw him again.